What's going on, YouTube? Today I've got another haunted talon video coming up at you. This one is sponsored by StarknightMT. They sent me some of their air scoops. These are adjustable. This piece goes on the outside. This piece here goes on the inside, so you can open it up and have airflow as you want it. I thought this would be a really cool deal, so they make them for Polarises and stuff to sit on the roof, as well as to sit on the windshield. This windshield obviously opens up, so I don't really need it, but I'm not really a super big fan of this windshield. As you can see, this thing's only had a few trail rides on it. Kind of hokey, not real happy with it, but anyhow. Nevertheless, what I'm going to try to do is mount these on the roof. StarknightMT is actually making a vented full windshield that they'll be coming out with soon, and I'm hopeful, and that should be on the channel coming out here soon to test that out as well. But today I want to see if we can mount these on the roof. Now I may only be able to do one of them because of all of the different body lines and stuff of the roof. I haven't checked anything yet, see what it's going to come out looking like, but you guys are basically going to find out along with me, right? Meow. So let me look at these, lay them out a little bit, see what we're going to do. We may wind up going with just one. Apologize, Star Knight, for sending me two of them and I only use one, but we're going to see how this works out. If not, I may take one of my old single full windshields, put it on here, cut it out, put these on the windshield, just so that you know, I don't want them to send me something and me not use it. That would just be rude. But anyhow, let's take a look at it and see what we come up with. So there it is with two of them just sitting up there. I don't know. Kind of looks a little busy to me. And where they're at, it's so far forward. I don't think a lot of the airflow is really gonna do. I don't know how much good that's gonna do, because the thing about these is, you know, I'm gonna want these for when I don't want the windshield fully open, or you know, I just want a little more airflow. Oh, I don't know. There's not a lot of good real estate on this to put those right there. Maybe we'll try putting one in the center, or maybe two in the center. We'll have to look. We'll take another gander at this just to get an idea. I don't know. What do you guys think? Okay, I think one of them sitting up there on top, real nice, discreet. I like the look of that, and it's gonna get really good airflow right there. I think I got to do a little more measuring, make sure it's, you know, perfectly centered and whatnot, but I think that's pretty legit right there. I think that's gonna work a whole lot better, and then it'll be easier to reach from inside when you're sitting in the cab with your 5 points or my 4-point harness is strapped in. I'll be more likely to be able to reach it. Way up there in the front, I don't think I'd be able to reach it on the fly, and then that would take away from the adjustability of them. Hopefully Star Knight doesn't get upset if I only use one of them. Decisions. So yeah, I think that single in the center, I believe that's what we're going to go with. I like it. I like the way it looks. I like the way it adds with the body lines and whatnot. It's going to take quite a bit of measuring to get that perfectly in the center where I want it. It's gonna have to it's gonna be hard. I may have to get my laser line out to get it perfectly where I want it. But for the installation, StarknightMT sends you this template that's you can cut out to use to help you with your install. I want to take and use this to help me do my layout, get it right where we want it, make sure it is exactly what we want. But I think it's going to be really good airflow with it coming right off like that, boom, right into that scoop. I think that's going to help out dramatically with in-cab, and it's also probably cut down on eating quite so much dust, you know, considering having the whole windshield open as opposed to more direct airflow straight through the scoop. But the other thing could also do maybe later is take and put another one here in the center, which I think would look kind of cool, having two of them up here. Obviously won't work with this windshield, but then you'll get some airflow right off the hood in there as well, which could be beneficial as well, and help out get some more airflow through the cab with less dirt. I mean, you could also probably put some kind of spongy material in here to help cut down on a little bit of the dirt as well. But let me go and do some more layout and make triple sure that's exactly where I want it before I go and start cutting holes in this roof. I mean, eventually one day I'm probably going to replace this roof anyway, because I don't like how it turns up here in the back. It makes it kind of a pain, but now that I've got the spare tire carrier on the back, it's like, well, okay, whatever. But all right, I'll be back in a minute. All right, guys, well, this is what I settled in on. What I've done here is I've taken my straight edge and I've put it across from this bolt center to that bolt over there center. So that's giving me my center line. Scribe that, and then what I did is I took, instead of using the template, I took the one screw out of here, took the center baffle out, and then took this piece. Now, when this is mounted inside, it'll be like such. Well, I flipped it over, put it on top, and scribed out a line. Tried to use my soapstone, it didn't show up really good, but I scribed the interior line of what I need to cut out using this as my template because it was easier to hold in place than that. Now, I went and measured this side to side, and it's like 15 and 15/16 from the outside of this bolt to the edge here of the bracket, baffle, whatever you want to call it. But regardless of wherever you measure from, you want to take the same measurement from both sides and to the same point on both sides, so you get your center line as close to perfect as you can. I mean, these things are side by sides. They don't have to be perfect. They're not going to be perfect. I mean, my one concern about this is if I ever catch this sucker on a low-hanging tree limb, but it's fairly robust plastic. I mean, it's malleable, and you know, it doesn't feel super brittle, so I think it'll be fine. But anyhow, so I messaged StarknightMT. I haven't heard back from them yet, but I think they'll be okay with this because this is kind of a fact-finding mission to find out how these things function on a talon, because they don't actually make these for a talon. They make them for a Polaris Razor. My thought was to put it like right here, but they're a little too wide. So I think if they made this here and made it a little narrower, and or made it where it would take and deal with these contour changes or whatnot. Also too, if you change out this roof and put one with a flat roof on it, then you could just mount it, boom, boom, two on each side, which later on I may do anyway. That would be awesome as well. But this is definitely going to make a huge change in the airflow going through and getting that hot air out from inside the cab, because this thing gets a lot of hot air in from the radiator and cooling system of the engine. So I'm going to use an oscillating tool to cut this out. Be lying if I didn't say I was a little nervous, but here goes nothing. Well, here goes nothing. All right, now that we've got the general shape cut in here, pretty much done, actually. I got 95+% of it done. I'm gonna take a drywall knife and just work it through, being very patient. Get those last little bits through. And I'm going to tell you guys this, and some of you guys probably ain't going to hear this. If you ain't really super handy with tools and, you know, good hand-eye coordination, all that stuff, call a buddy that is to do this, because you don't want to do this yourself and screw it up because you don't really know what you're doing. But you feel confident, you got good hand-eye coordination, you know, you're not afraid of power tools, you do it, go slow, take your time, be patient. And if it's not totally perfect, doesn't matter, because the shroud's going to cover up 90% of it anyway. But the better job you do now, the better your finished product will be, trust me. Anyhow, be back in a bit once I get this thing final cut out, and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so there's our hole. Now we're just going to go around with a small file, clean this up a little bit. You don't have to do this, but it's just one of those things. It makes it look nicer. If you're doing it from somebody else, you know. This is my rig, so I don't really care that much, but I'm going to clean it up a little bit with a file, and then I'm going to start getting the last bits put in. Be back. All right, now that we got it cleaned up, now we're going to do a little test fit. So this is going to fit like such inside. Well, no, think about it. It's going to fit like such on the inside, right? This will be bolted up from the bottom on the inside of this. But we can flip her over and we can check to make sure it's going to clear. And it's not quite going to clear. Got a little bit on the wideness part. Need to make just slightly wider. Looks like about an 1/8 inch. Got a little bit too tight on that piece. So I'm going to take and clearance this a little more. I'm going to take a little less than about a little over a 1/16 off each side and check it again. Again, just being methodical, taking my time. Cut a little bit, test it. I want as small a hole as possible, but I want it functional and I want it to look good. So if this happens to you, just take a breath, take your time. You can always cut more off, you can't put it back. And there it is, all mounted up in all of its glory. Use the screws provided. I went and pre-drilled all the holes. Once I've got it up there, made sure all my clearances were good. I went and put the hood scoop in place, used it as my template for my drilling, held it down, pre-drilled the holes. Putting the deal together was kind of a stretch, but I managed to do it by myself. This would be a whole lot easier if you got a buddy to help you out, hold it up from the inside, but I got pretty long arms and it wasn't that bad. But got it all done. It's up there. It looks good. I like it. Looks to me, it's pretty good shape inside. Once it gets a little lighter outside, I'm gonna take this thing outside, show you guys what it looks like. But let's take a look at it from the inside now. Here it is from the inside. It's nice, clean, in the middle. Very happy with final fit up on it. Check this out. Doop. Airflow, no airflow. Airflow, no airflow. And you give it a little, especially if you push it from the outside. This actually clips in and is pretty tight seal. I don't see this being a problem. I think it's going to work really, really, really good, letting all that airflow in right at me. Let's see. So here, this is my direct view from where I'll be at. It's really going to help out moving air around in here. I think that's going to work very, very, very well. But anyhow, that's enough blabbing. I'm going to get this thing out, take some more video of it outside once the sun gets out good. I've been doing it. I work nights, so I wound up doing this at like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. But once it gets more sunlight outside, I'm going to take this outside so you guys can see it, and we'll take it on a road test to see how much air flows through this thing. And there it is there, all installed. Looks good. Really like the way that turned out. Straight, centered. All in total, took me an hour and a half, 2 hours. You know, but I went and checked and double checked and looked at this thing all kinds of different ways just to make sure it was exactly the way I wanted it to be. But yeah, I really like it. It looks good. Marries up very nicely with the side-by-side. I mean, it looks like it was meant to be there. So, all in all, really like it. Now we just got to try it out and take it on the trails today and see how well it actually performs. But I think it's going to work out really nicely. Okay, final thoughts on the StarknightMT vent. It works fine. It's not a massive amount of airflow. Like, you know, it's not like turning your car on and blowing on high unless you're doing like 60, 70 miles an hour. But cruising around, you get a nice slow bit of airflow growing through, and it really helps dissipate the heat and move the heat around in the machine, as well as it lets the heat out when you stop. Especially yesterday, it was raining and it was really hard to get any kind of real video, and of course you guys can't see air movement over this video, so I mean that was kind of pointless. But using it worked really well. It was raining and we were mobbing through mud and everything. I washed this thing, but I know it doesn't look like it, but I didn't get a bunch of water coming in from the top, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to put it up there. I didn't want to have a whole bunch of water flow through the windshield right on top of everything, but it worked just fine, no problems. I may take the baffle out in the summertime, just leave it open all the time. But yeah, it does really well. Like I said, it's nice, subtle. I think it's going to be a really nice complement to the new windshield that I'm hoping to get here the next few weeks from StarknightMT with the vents in it. Because the front windshield with the flip up is okay, but now that I've got the 4-seat harnesses or 4-point harnesses in here, I can't look over the hood so much, so this gets in my way constantly. And once you get a little bit of mud and debris on here, you can't hardly see anything through it. So this windshield, I'm just not real super stoked about whatsoever. So Starknight's windshield is going to be one piece, and then it's going to have 2 vents in it, I believe. Like I said, I can't wait until I get that windshield in so I can try it out. I think between the two, I think it's going to be perfect. Be able to control the airflow to keep it cooled down inside the cab while we're cruising around doing trail rides and stuff like that. I mean, high speed, this thing's really let some serious airflow through, but you know, especially like, you know, if you're trail riding and, you know, you're going through mud and whoops and all that kind of stuff, you're not always going to be doing 70, 80 miles an hour. And this thing just lets a nice mellow amount of airflow through, and it works really well. I'm really happy with the way it came out. And the other cool thing is the way it's designed. You know, it's basically sealed on the backside, so when water does get up there, it doesn't all just flow down into the deal either. So that's also a good thing. But anyhow, I like it. Definitely would recommend it. Thank you, StarknightMT, for sending it out. And look forward to more upgrades coming soon. Anyhow, that's it for today. My next video, I'm going to be going over my rear radius arm upgrade, dual shear rear brackets, and the new bead locks. Stay tuned.